Leicester have been on a tremendous run at the King Power Stadium, winning their previous 8 home games in all competitions. Nottingham Forest were intent on revenge after Leicester denied them a playoff place on the final day of last season. But it was a day to forget for Leicester, and David Nugent in particular. His first opportunity was saved by Forest keeper Carl Darlow. And from another Anthony Knockaert delivery, Nugent was even better placed for another headed chance. Forest punished Leicester's wastefulness, and after Jamie Patterson's surge into the box, confusion ensued in the Leicester defence. Jamie Mackie managed to stop Kasper Schmeichel claiming the ball, and Simon Cox took full advantage to open the scoring. Then Andy Reid found Henry Lansbury, but his shot was saved by Schmeichel. Like their first goal, Forest's second is unlikely to win any Goal of the Month competitions. Lansbury's shot was cleared off the line by Danny Drinkwater, but Mackie, just back on his feet after a collision with Wes Morgan, was on hand to make it 2-0. Leicester had an opportunity to pull a goal back when they were awarded their 9th penalty of the season after David Vaughan had fouled Drinkwater. But Nugent's spot kick summed up Leicester's day. 6 of his 8 goals so far this season had come from penalties, but he failed to hit the target with this one. Nugent left to rue what might have been as Forest move up to 5th.
Mid-table Ipswich were hoping to make it back-to-back wins in the league after registering a first victory in 6 last time out against Blackpool. The visitors were in form Leicester City, second in the table. They came off the back of defeat to Forest. And the surprises kept on coming for the Foxes. Under 2 minutes into the match, the Tractor Boys were in the lead. David McGoldrick had scored just 1 goal in 6 ahead of this match, but picking up the ball outside the box, he let rip with an unstoppable effort for a 1-0 lead. Before the break, Leicester might have been on level terms from a Danny Drinkwater corner. Andy King with the contact, Dean Gherkin with the save. The hosts had failed to win at Portman Road in the last 2, that after winning 3 in a row. They needed a second, and after Jay Tab teed up Ryan Tunnicliffe, Schmeichel did well to save. It was the platform that Leicester needed, as 6 minutes after the restart, City were level. A well-worked goal as Lloyd Dyer crossed from the left, Jamie Vardy setting up a superb David Nugent strike, 1-1, Nugent's 9th of the season. The turnaround was completed 6 minutes later when the visitors grabbed a second. Dyer ran on to Drinkwater's perfect through ball, and when Gherkin committed himself, Dyer rounded him and cut back for Nugent for a simple tap-in, 2-1. Shell-shocked Ipswich looked to fight back. Paul Taylor's teasing cross was headed just wide by Luke Chambers. The promotion favourite City responded by nearly scoring a third. Vardy picked out Dyer with a perfect diagonal ball to feet. He could only fire over the bar. It was the Foxes who finished on a high as once again Nigel Pearson's men threatened. It was Nugent who played a 1-2 with Dyer and was within inches of completing a hat-trick. 2-1 to Leicester City. They're second in the table but level on points with Burnley above them and QPR beneath them. It all makes for an enthralling championship.
Leicester lost their last home game, but the broader picture is much brighter. Before that, it was 8 consecutive victories on their own turf. Millwall had only picked up 6 points in their last 7 games. And when Danny Drinkwater set up Lloyd Dyer to score on 12 minutes, the omens weren't good for Millwall. When Leicester score first, they win this season. 2 minutes later, Anthony Knockaert was only denied his first home league goal of the season by David Ford's acrobatic save. 7 minutes after the break, Kasper Schmeichel collected a Millwall corner and provided the kind of distribution that would have delighted his father, Peter. Jamie Vardy's pace did for the Millwall defence, his 3rd goal in his last 4 starts. And 2 minutes later, Scott Malone's hesitant header let in Vardy once again, 6th in the league now for him this season. Leading scorer David Nugent brought another fine save from Ford. And Millwall's best chance fell to Steve Morrison, but he'd only scored once in his last 20, and it all went wrong for him. It looked easier to score. Chris Wood scored 11 in a loan spell at Millwall last season and very nearly added to their misery. Millwall only just above the drop zone, but Leicester are clear at the top of the championship.
This was the in-form league leaders against a managerless side that had just lost a hat-trick of games. But this is football, so what did that guarantee? Leicester started well enough. In fact, they started brilliantly. Anthony Knockaert in just the 3rd minute produced a fabulous solo effort. It was the 22-year-old Frenchman's 4th goal of the season, and he took some stopping in the celebrations. But Wednesday, with Stuart Gray in charge for the time being, fought back thanks to some quality finishing of their own. Connor Wickham's control was impressive, his finishing precise. It was the 20-year-old striker's 5th match on loan from Sunderland. So it was all square again with less than 10 minutes played, and the ultimate winner came in the 25th minute as Leicester failed to clear a Wednesday corner. Wickham was just a little further out this time, but the outcome was the same. Kasper Schmeichel beaten. Wickham claimed his 4th goal for the struggling Yorkshireman. While Leicester boss Nigel Pearson refuted any suggestion his players were complacent, they admitted they were wasteful. Jamie Vardy was denied by Damian Martinez, and then David Nugent failed to score with either of his attempts on the follow-up. Some of Wednesday's defending reminded us why they'd won just once in 16 matches this season. Glenn Loovens and Liam Palmer both contrived poor clearances to set up Nugent to strike for goal. Martinez, a 21-year-old Argentine on loan from Arsenal, made a Premier League quality save, so Leicester are top, but only on goals scored.
Brighton took on Leicester at the Amex Stadium, with both having suffered surprise defeats in midweek against Sheffield Wednesday and Barnsley respectively. The Foxes had won 2 of their previous 3 on the road and created the first chance. Danny Drinkwater with a low shot that was well saved by Peter Brezovan in the Brighton goal. The Seagulls had won just 1 of their previous 5 home games but took the lead with 9 minutes gone. David Lopez provided the cross, and Ashley Barnes scored his 4th goal in 5 games, having previously gone 11 without finding the net. The pass from Lopez made Barnes' task easy. Looking to build on that early lead, the home side went close again. Craig Conway the provider, but Rowan Ince was just off target with his header. A second goal did come before the half-hour mark. Lopez vision once again the provider, this time for Conway on loan from Cardiff, to open his account for his new club. It was just the Welshman's 2nd goal in over 12 months. The Foxes hadn't lost back-to-back games since last April and made a fight of things in the second half. They reduced the deficit when Andy King got on the end of Anthony Knockaert's free kick to head in his 3rd goal of the season. And Leicester very nearly levelled. Half-time substitute Knockaert with the cross, and another replacement, Gary Taylor-Fletcher, saw his header tipped over by Brezovan. With 13 minutes left, the points were made safe by Oscar Garcia's side when they were awarded a penalty. Ashley Barnes was bundled over in the area by Wes Morgan, and referee Bobby Madley pointed to the spot. It was Barnes that took the penalty himself and scored despite the efforts of Kasper Schmeichel. The Dane got a hand to the penalty, but the power was too great. A 3-1 victory, a first win in 3 games for Brighton, while Leicester will need to regroup ahead of next week's match with leaders Burnley.
It's been a fascinating fight for prime position at the top of the championship so far this season, and Christmas brings a series of meetings between the contenders that'll give them a fair idea of exactly where they stand, and that all starts here this Saturday lunchtime. Leicester the first to settle here. It's an excellent burst forward from Delat. Might be someone on the end of it. Dyer, he cannoned it into the defender. Knockaert, it's curling away. Drilled back in by Drinkwater. They're appealing for handball. It's back with Matty James. Blocked away by Shackle. Having to work hard here, Burnley. Knockaert. He's glided through. What superb work that was by Anthony Knockaert.
We know he's a tricky little player.
And they're on those same trio for Leicester City, trying to get on the end of this one. It's in by James. It's met by Shackle. Here's Knockaert, tees it up. Got a great strike, but it was straight at Tom Heaton. Drinkwater. Smart toe from Vardy, goes down, and the referee, Andy D'Urso, points to the spot. And that all came from a lapse from the skipper.
Yeah, well, Michael Duff is complaining, but I noticed the players around the incident on Vardy are not complaining. That looked a little bit soft for me.
David Nugent scores. He is the Championship's penalty king, and he's got another one against his former club.
Well, they've had 10 penalties already this season in League and Cup games. And they've got a man in the team who's very capable of staying calm in a pressure situation.
Good cross, just too high for Ings, and it came back off the post. James, oh, he's worked it through well. Here's Vardy. Knockaert wanted it. Vardy took it, and he's rolled it wide. Will be taken by Knockaert. It's a good action on the ball. Nearly found Morgan. And Moore could only turn it over. Trippier. Oh, he's got it through. It's Ings. It hasn't taken him long. Just 90 seconds into the second half. And it is Leicester 1, Burnley 1.
And the source, Kieran Trippier, getting forward, crossing a ball in behind the defence.
Oh, that's a loose back pass. It's gone straight to Sam Vokes. Schmeichel bails out his defenders, and goodness me, he needed to. Beyond one, and another. Knockaert seeking Dyer. Dyer doing really well. Nugent couldn't turn it into the goal, though. Here's Sam Vokes. Can he take this one on? Oh, appeals for handball there. It did look like there was an arm up from Liam Moore, but nothing given either by the assistant on this near side or by Andy D'Urso. This is Vokes. Piling on the pressure now, Burnley. Jones goes down. Konchesky with the challenge. They're looking, asking questions for everything in there. Well, this will be an interesting one to compare with the award that went Leicester's way in the first half.
Similar scenario. As the Rabage in the back tightly knows he's coming, gets his body across.
To run at Trippier. Get the cross in, and it's wide. Glorious chance for Vardy. Driving through the middle. That's left space for Schlupp to shoot. 3 in the middle for Leicester. Knockaert one of them. Here he is now. Anthony Knockaert deflected. Heaton's got it away. And if the first half belonged to Leicester, the second, Burnley showed why they are the lead dogs as we approach the Christmas period in the Sky Bet Championship. Wonderful response from the leaders. After a wonderful first half performance from the home side, they took the lead. Slight hint of controversy about the award of the penalty. No hint of a doubt about the way that David Nugent converted it. Leicester's top scorer having his say. Danny Ings wasn't going to miss out. Barely had the whistle gone to start the second half that he was the most alert in the penalty area. Levelled it up. 1-1. 47 minutes. 1-1 after 90 minutes here at the King Power Stadium.